What up? Come on inside, you'll get cold. Good morning, world. I hope you're well. Welcome back to No Surrender Series, episode 4 now. 6 o'clock. We are an hour later this morning than what we would usually get up, but it's worked because I've lost 1.3 kilos overnight. We're going to get stuck into a day in the life rest day on prep today, so we're going to show you everything that goes on behind the scenes. We're not taking you to the gym. We may take you to the gym, but for something different. But right now, it's check-in time. I'm going to go and get my pants on. Normally I would just come downstairs naked, but I can't do that because it wouldn't be No Surrender Series, it would be No Surrender Series / Slee Only Fans. We're not going to do that, so we're going to get the pants on. We're going to get Mads' phone, because we always use their phone because it's better, and we're going to get checking in. Let's go. Oh my goodness! Is it? Who's here? Look at him.
Cool.
Vamos!
I've already done an hour because I've gone and done cardio.
Sucks to be you.
And you had a lie-in. Are you down?
1.3 kilos.
Oh, nice.
I'm fucking broken, mate. Right, I need to go and get my pants on. I'm not allowed to do it in camera because obviously that would mean I'd be naked.
Can if you want, you might lose some viewers.
I might lose some viewers. Have you got Zoom? How good's that Zoom?
Good.
Good. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to get my pants on. Yes.
Because no one puts their posing suit on and then gets dressed again.
It was for the opportunity to do this.
I know it was.
Right.
Come on.
A lot goes into this.
Nice. Just free right out of it. Hold it. So you're recording. Not flat now.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Fuck!
Yeah, nice.
harder than last week.
Congratulations.
Flatter you get, lighter you get. You think everything's switched on, Mads is like, turn your quad on, I'm like, I really am. So unimpressive. Think I look alright? I look 1.3 kilos lighter. I've lost, since last time you saw us guys, obviously I was on a refeed, deload. I've gone from, I started at 100.05. I'm 97.3 this morning. So moving quick, 3 days in. That's exactly why you run deload phases. You resensitize, you get in a position where sensitivity is just through the fucking roof. Your metabolic and anabolic output, not so much anabolic, because you're not driving anabolism at this stage, but providing you've got variables in place, your metabolic fucking processing, it just speeds up tenfold and you have like a rebound slingshot effect into the next phase. So I'll be 95 kilos in a couple of days, no fucking doubt about it. I'm not fucking, it's not easy. Good though. Breakfast now, 10 egg white omelette with 200 grams of mushrooms. What prep and dreams are made of.
I've got a massive bowl of oats and loads of dark chocolate.
I don't give a fuck, mate. You should show me a sweet cabinet.
Oh my god, I can't show you my
The toppings cabinet. It's an absolute liberty. We shop in Aldi because Aldi's the best shop ever. And you know, if you walk through the middle aisle, it's got shit after shit after shit. What did you get the other day? Kinder Hippos. Oh my god. The best fucking things. I was like, mate, that is like my seriously demented childhood all rolled into one fucking chocolate bar.
It makes it out like I ate loads of rubbish. It's mostly squares, bars and oats.
I'm going fucking back to bed.
If you rockin' with it, put your hands up. This the anthem. If you get up and get it, put your hands up.
When you're on prep, you get very funny about food. So Corey has these bars of dark chocolate that he has in the evening. 25 grams there. Half of one is 12.5. And I sometimes have half of it. And he gets so precious about me breaking it because otherwise it might not be exactly right for how he's going to have it.
It's just, the reality is if I'm having 12.5 grams a day, it doesn't matter if one day I have 13 because it doesn't break perfectly evenly, because I'll have the other half which will amount to 25 grams, won't it, Madeline? Unfortunately, if she fucks about with it and has half of a half, which is what, like 6 grams?
Yeah.
What a waste of time. Also just completely fucking ruins my shit. It ruins my unagi and internal feng shui.
The only thing he doesn't mind me fucking about with is this omelette because he burns it every morning.
Yeah, that's a real good way to ruin my day, that.
So that can't go wrong, right?
I get six measly meals a day. To be fair, you cook most of my food now. My next meal, 500 grams of potato. I make my potato, put it in the air fryer, but I just fucking hack it and just throw it all in. Mads makes like really nice wedges. Chicken and potato wedges. Meal 2. And pineapple. We get pineapple with that as well. I'm back on coffee, guys. I started drinking coffee again, 1 a day. So I've managed to tame the anxiety that I get from caffeine overdose. I used to have like six a day. I used to drink fucking loads of them. And then I stopped for ages and had like a complete caffeine cleanse. And now I have 1 a day and it's really, really nice. Isn't it?
I don't know, I eat it.
I like it.
Whoa!
So I have 1 a day, but I have 1 a day in a pint.
This the anthem. If you rockin' with it, put your hands up. Yeah.
We set breakfast up. We have a little bit of time together and then we depart and crack on with work. Obviously we are an hour late today because we're filming this for you guys, but all of the check-ins are ready to rock and roll. We get them set up as I'm eating my 10 egg white omelette with 200 grams of mushrooms, and then we crack the fuck on and bang some results out day after day after day. We've got some good guys that I'm going to talk to you about, actually, to be fair, give you a bit of an insight into what we're doing, how we're doing it. May even get Cal to check in later, because that fucker is still asleep. Or he won't be because we're talking really loudly. Oh.
How much nut butter is too much nut butter? This cupboard drives Corey a little bit crazy. I mean, I could get it all out where you can just come and have a look, but... Oh! I'm looking for something in particular. Ah! Sweet and salty, this bangs.
What are you going to have on your oats?
I don't know.
Are you having a topping? Are you having a sweetie?
No, I'm not, because it's not training day. Corey just wants me to show you all of my carbohydrates in this cupboard. Pop-Tarts, Squares bars. I mean, it's so jammed, I can't even pull it all out. Basically, when you get high in the off-season, people know this, you end up with massive bowls of oats with just loads of shit on top to try and make up your macros. And that's where I am.
Yeah, I think so. Fucking bullshit. Check-in response
Corey,
is
yeah,
in.
you're getting leaner.
It's very easy, isn't it? If you set your foundations right as a coach, you literally don't have to do a great deal. So I sent my check-in at 6:43, 7:25. We have a response ready to rock and roll. Go on, tell me I'm shredded and tell me I'm good.
Hey bro, good morning. Thank you for the update. Sorry, this is a little bit low, isn't it? If I cough and splutter on this one, mate, my greatest apologies. I've gotten ill again for the second time in 2 weeks.
Because your rapid fat loss has lost 20 pounds,
I'm
Joe.
not going to complain to you because I know you're way leaner than me, but man, I'm on protein, veg only, high expenditure, now fucking ill. It's not looking good, bruv.
This is why you take
Anyway,
a
mate, let's dive
multivitamin
straight
when
into
you're on
it.
prep.
I spent a lot of time this week thinking about the projection of periodizing things here, of how we're going to manipulate your programming and your inputs to make sure that we continue along this extremely smooth and progressive ride that we have been.
Feedback is in. Joe is happy, which is all that matters. In terms of changes, there isn't going to be any. We're 3 days into the reset of the plan post deload, moving forward absolutely perfectly well. Essentially, as I said, intestinal volume, slight manipulations to assistances causing the physiological response that we want to see, which is good. Drop off in fluid, for example, drop off in intestinal volume, which is why we're seeing huge weight shifts already. We're going to continue to press on, which is good. Manipulations won't be happening for the next week to 2 weeks. We're just going to allow the body to continue to materialise the rest of the fat loss that we need to see, and we will be in shooting distance. So yeah, a happy coach is very, very much a happy client, but a happy client can only be a happy client if they execute. Like, no fucking question. There isn't anything I miss. Everything I'm told to do, I do to the fucking T, because that way I'm in a position where I can't possibly hold any anxiety, because when I send my check-in, I'm more than confident with the results that will have been materialised, and if they haven't been materialised, it's not my responsibility, it's Joe's. And then Joe will take that responsibility, make the adjustments needed. But as he said straight away, we're exactly where we need to be, and we don't miss because I don't miss. So we're going to get stuck into my gang's check-ins now. Focus on my guys. Get these boxed off before 9 o'clock, as is always on job with Raw Coaching, and then we are going to take you on the rest of the day. But good start to the day. Let's go. If you've got any questions, please let me know. Big love. Peace. Morning, sunshine.
Morning, mate.
I'm all woken.
Undeniable.
Yeah, of course.
You right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah?
Yeah. Half asleep.
Half asleep. How did you sleep?
Yeah, all right.
All good?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's your arms?
Killing.
Really?
And my wrists this morning.
Good.
Joints. That's fine.
Fantastic. So we've got more connective tissue damage to deal with Cal. This is the reality of being very, very large, very, very strong. We've got to wrap very large individuals in bubble wrap. But we're navigating from Cal's rapid fat loss phase into his recovery phase now, where we're going to be pulling his androgens out, basically clearing him of androgens in the serum. Then we're going to run health assessments, and then we'll look to push on providing everything will be well. It will be well because obviously we've worked with Cal for a long time and we know how his body ticks and we know what needs to be done. But what is a massive priority, and what I think I'm going to be doing moving forward, certainly with his strength capabilities through this recovery phase, he will still have androgens present, so we don't need to completely rid him of all things that will drive stimulus, because he will be able to recover as these androgens clear. But it is something we're going to have to take into account, maybe a supersonic peptides approach, but we'll keep you up to date with that. But yeah, something to keep in mind when you are going through a clearing phase. You still have androgens present, so you still can progress, but certainly when you are very, very heavily dense in muscle and you are very, very strong, coming off the back of a huge escalation as we went through your fat loss phase. Well, obviously we spoke about in episode 1 the ability to come away from progression phase. When you start going into a cleanup, saturation drops, performance increases, and we've seen the positives but also potential negatives from that. So something to keep in mind when you're going through these phases and how to manage yourself through that time. Mads,
I said please.
will you cut my potato up?
Please.
Please?
Maybe.
I'm hungry. It's 9:42. Normally I'd have had 2 meals by now and I'd be talking myself into training in the car, freezing cold with the heaters on, going, come on Corey, you can do this. I'm hungry, Mads.
It's a very bodybuilder meal, this.
What is it?
A chicken peanut butter bagel. It's very bodybuildery. Except I'm in the bottom of the jar, look at my peanut butter, it looks really, really dog shit. But I make Corey's potato because he isn't very good at it. Because he just makes it like, I don't even know what he makes it as. They're like little fucking fingers. Look at it. He says he's having a bad time. That's a lot of fucking potato in it. Terrible. However, cheat. Don't say you can't prep your meals. Put chicken in the slow cooker, and then you've got it for days. Easy.
So hungry. Do I have to put it on myself? Joking. One thing and change and adjustment that has happened off the back of check-in is ensuring that sodium is maintained throughout the course of the day. So as you guys will know, because I have told you on the socials, I weigh out my salt and I distribute it throughout the day, but we want a more even distribution. I have 6 meals a day, so my salt has changed from 10 grams to 12, and we're going to try and distribute that a little bit more evenly, so we're in and around 2 grams per meal. So if we need to make adjustments to electrolyte balance through sodium, potassium, etc. in the body with fluids, then we can. So that's something that we want to try and make sure that we're getting done earlier on rather than later on, because to really modulate electrolyte balance is quite a task, and we want to make sure we're super accurate with that. So if you are someone who doesn't use sodium on a daily basis, or salt specifically, make sure you are, and make sure it's tracked. Okay, it's just another tool and opportunity to maximise the end result. And look, I'm show day. I'm gonna.
Do you need extra cereal?
What's that? Yes, please, babe. I'll get my own food out then, shall I?
Stop playing up to the camera. Boring.
Gotta give the people what they want.
There you go. Enjoy.
Thank you, Madeline.
This the anthem. If you get up and get it, put your hands up. Yeah. This one for the winners if you with me. Yeah. Hands up in the sky if you feel me. Yeah. This one for the winners if you with me.
Happy man. 500 grams of potato a la tank, 150 grams of chicken, 150 grams of pineapple. We have T-minus 20 minutes, and then I'm going to go and get my hairline fixed, and then we are going to rest day posing. Every single rest day I have, every single Thursday, go and see Sammy, get my pose on. I think John's going to be there as well, so it'd be nice to catch up with him, but stay tuned. The day is going extremely well so far. Check-ins are done, so we're going to eat, refuel, go and get my hair cut, and then go and pose, and then we've got more to come. Yep. Whilst we're on the way to get the hairline fixed, I put a story out and a question on my Instagram to answer some of your questions, and one of the best questions I've had today is my biggest struggle in prep and how I manage it. Now, my biggest struggle is my anxiety, big time. It's my worry and panic to make sure that I'm doing enough, and that may sound super heroic, but to the time frame of which I do things, the stress that causes me, not meeting times of eating my meals, not getting to the gym at the time that I commit to, because I feel like the accumulation of progression comes from consistency and meticulous detail, being able to execute every single day. And how I manage that, quite simply, is just by ensuring that I've got no distractions, or as little amount of distractions as possible. I don't put myself in a position where I can be faced with that anxiety. For example, I wake up at 5 o'clock every morning, I do my check-ins, I have my meal, I do more check-ins, I have my pre-workout meal, I go to the gym. I don't put myself in a position where I say, right, I'm going to go to the coffee shop today and do my check-ins, because by doing that, that means I've got to leave the house. It means I'm going to be out of routine. So I think it's a really important topic in terms of a really important point in any phase specific goal, but prep certainly. It's the materialization of daily consistent effort. And unfortunately, that's got to be structured. Any ad hoc approach to your cardio, your nutrition, your training, for me, just isn't going to work. And I don't. This is one of the reasons why I stick with like a meal plan. I think macro tracking is great, but for me, I'm like, well, I know that if I eat chicken every single day on this meal, this meal, and this meal, I know exactly what I'm going to get at the end of the week. And if things need to be adjusted, I can adjust them because my routine is so structured, my body can just flip to it straight away. Whereas if there's not consistent measures every single day, every single variable, it's going to be nigh on impossible. So my biggest struggle is anxiety around making sure I accumulate those daily progressions. And the way that I manage that is by not putting myself in a position where I can ever be caught out and where my routine can be disrupted to the point where I lose control. Onto the hairline fixing.
If you rockin' with it, put your hands up. This the anthem. If you get up and get it, put your hands up. This the anthem. If you rockin' with it, put your hands up. Yeah, this the anthem. If you get up and get it, put your hands up. Yeah, this one for the winners if you with me. Yeah. Hands up in the sky if you feel me, yeah. This one for the winners if you with me, yeah. Hands up in the sky if you feel me, yeah. It's the anthem.
So here at Stackhouse Gym in Rayleigh with my man Corey today. He's getting ready to do his first show for a long time. It's first time in Classic. Been working together on posing for like over a year now, and he's come on so far. I can't wait to people like actually sit in the audience and realise how good he is, because I don't think they're ready for it, to be honest with you. Going from open and very static posing to like being able to flow the way he has and the way he's applied himself, it's been a really beautiful process to be a part of, and I'm pretty excited to see it. So today we're just gonna probably go through some mandatories,
You make me cry,
see how he's getting on, and then we'll go through his routine, which was pieced together last week, see how much he's sort of like mastered that, and then tweak any areas that we need to tweak, and then we might put some other content together for you guys.
Yeah. It's very good. I'm very, very grateful. Sammy has held this journey together. I'm going to end up crying. Post heart attack, I had to make a lot of decisions on what I was going to do, how I was going to do it. Classic was a thing that I wanted to pursue, but something I didn't believe I could due to imposter syndrome, which I'm sure all of you have had at one point or another in time, and being able to actually present myself as what I would consider to be classic, and the only person that has kept that alive on a weekly basis, genuinely, it's his man, so very grateful. How we normally do it, Sammy drills me, gets me nice and warm through mandatories first, tweaks everything that needs to be tweaked. Hopefully I do a really good job and he doesn't batter me for too long. If I'm not very good, he'll push me for longer, and then we're going to go into routine and get stuck in from there.
Yeah, I think the days of like tweaking his mandatories, the time span gets shorter and shorter, just where he just gets better and better. So you'll just see subtle tweaks now. You won't see all of what we've put together over the time, because he's at a level now where he only needs minor tweaks.
Is there any tips? When should we start posing? If you're a bodybuilder, you're going to compete.
Oh yeah, you never stop, never stop. Obviously there's subtle things that you can teach people that you can't teach people necessarily when they're in off season, which is like one prime example, quarter turns. When you do your quarter turn, you'll breathe into the obliques, that brings out striations in the obliques, very hard to see in the off season, and you tends to go the other way. So if you blow into the obliques in an off season, you'll just end up with a barrel belly. So a lot of guys will end up vacuuming in an off season when they hit their quarter turns, and then when it comes to actual competing, they end up like still vacuuming in and they don't show that detail inside. So there's just some things to be aware of when posing, or one thing to be aware of when posing in off season, but generally you should always, just to continue keeping the shapes, make sure foot placement is key. Emoji in the corner, key. Foot placement is key in posing. If you don't have your foot placement down, when you come to, your show time, you will end up just posing with your upper body and then the legs just won't show. So that's probably something we're going to go over today.
Let's do it.
See, here's where you go. So breathe hard. You can see the extra little details and the crispiness that comes in, and it doesn't blow the waist out when you're quite dying for a show. And quarter turns to the right. He's holding his glutes now as well. We'll see if he does it on the other side. Right, softer bend on the knees. That's it. Really drive the way through the heels. Good. Lift the arms and then just breathe into that. Without moving the arms. Chest up. Erectors looking dry. Quarter turn right. Notice how when Corey rotates, his toes are slightly turned this way. They're not turned exactly parallel with if you're gauging by this line on the floor, his feet would be kind of offset, and that's just to bring the glute round. That shows the hamstring, because structurally the quad sits out further than the hamstring. So if you've got a nice rotation of your heels this way, it's going to bring that hamstring forward, show more glute, and the leg is actually just going to look wider from the side. Yes. Hold the glute. Good tip. Squeeze these heels together. That's going to pull this glute in there. Nice. Face front. Chest up. Slowly lift this on. There you go. Lean in. Push that bit out. Good. Beautiful. Look at that shape. And side chest. Hamstrings on the way. That's it, hamstrings. Look ridiculous. So a little tip there, he's actually, it looks flexed, his hamstring's actually loose, it's soft, he's not flexing it. What he's doing is he's driving this knee across, if you come around the front. He's driving this knee across, looks like he's busting for a piss right now. And what that does is by keeping this hamstring loose, it creates the illusion of a nice hanging hamstring around the side because you're basically compressing muscle tissue outwards. So that's how we get that sweepy effect. You notice as well also, he's got this turned in, again, like showing more of the side leg when you come round. And it also gives a nice contortion effect to the waist, which is going to make the waist look smaller and create that X-ray. Beautiful. Real biceps. Flex the glutes up into the adductors. Good. You hear Corey exhale on the way out, and that is because when you exhale, if you breathe in, you won't ever be able to fully contract these lats. You don't want to hold your breath on a rear double. You'll notice if ever you see old Olympia shots, you always see the bellies pushing out over here. That's cool because no one's seeing your belly from this angle. You want to get this nice lat contraction, and he does that by driving his rear delts and his elbows down as he breathes out, and that fills his lats up. Beautiful, erect as a crystal, and hands on fire. Notice these smooth transitions. There you go. And then just dip into it. So by dipping in, we're hiding this oblique from like the front angle of the judges. And what that does is it tightens the waist up and just makes the quads look bigger. Another top tip is drop these shoulders, and it's going to thicken your lats up. Nice. Also, as well, you notice his hips are driven back. When your hips are driven back, this band down here called sartorius then comes through. It's a sign of really good conditioning. Not everyone gets a sartorius popping like this. So it shows that he's getting close. But yeah, you'll activate that by pulling it back, and then the sartorius will pop. Nice. And favourite classic pose. Get a nice angle with that. Spin round it. Hell yeah. Good from every angle. Wait, can you try something after this one? Again, on the twisting rear double, he's hitting this perfectly. You see how contracted his rear delts are? It's always a good sign of when you're hitting that perfectly, because that's what's going to, again, thicken these lats up when you're rotated. A lot of guys will just hit that arm position, they don't flex down on the rear delts. Like I said, we don't have a lot of tweaking to do as such, but it's nice to just keep him fresh. And sometimes as well, just for endurance purposes, because you never know how long they're going to hold you in positions for. Sometimes he'll come in and he'll just go, just drill me today, and we'll go through 4, 5, 6 rounds of posing, and then just do a little bit of routine work at the end.
Posing's done, it's time to eat. I'm going to ring the tank when we get in the car and ask her if she'll make my rice. She'll probably say no, but she'll do it anyway because otherwise I'll moan.
Hello.
Can you do me a favour? Because you love me.
Yeah, go on.
Can you put my rice on, please?
Yeah.
Do you love me?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I know you've got the camera on it. Didn't even get this, I'm going to ask Maddie to come around to me.
I thought you'd say no, to be fair. I thought you'd say fuck
I'm
off.
hungry and I've kind of been waiting for you to eat so that I can eat at the same time, so that after then I've already eaten and wait.
Sit with Slee. That makes sense. Alright. Well, I'm going to be home in probably about depending on how fast I drive, 6 and 10 minutes. So I have a perfect amount of time to put the old rice on.
Okay.
Alright, love you.
Yeah. Love
Thank
you.
you. Bye bye. Back in the hot seat, posing's finished. Madeline the tank has sorted me out my next meal. 100 grams of white rice, 150 grams of beef, and we are good to go. So, do you know when I talked in the car earlier on about meticulous detail / anxiety? This is my post-workout meal. I don't eat meals in a different order. I think that meal timings have to be nailed down. I think that meal order needs to be nailed down. It's not specifically the way I coach, but it's the way I feel and believe that results are materialised and that accumulation of progression happens. So post-workout meal is going in. What is nice, because I've been fucking about for so long today, it's 2 o'clock and I'm on meal 3. I'm not going to pretend like I'm comfortable with that, because it's been fucking driving me mental for the past hour and a half. But post-workout meal is going down. Meal 4 and meal 5 going down. Asparagus for diuretics, bruh. I'm not going to show you this because it's absolutely fucking ridiculous, and we just spent a little bit of time doing our content creation. It felt like fucking 4. Anyway, I'm going to now enjoy my 2 no carb meals back to back. We're going to sit down for a nutrition lecture because we've recently signed up to a new nutrition course. Always reinvesting in ourselves, always making sure that we are developing. So looking forward to jumping into that, and obviously eating my mince and asparagus as I go. I'm going for a walk. I'm going for a walk. Yeah? Should we go? Should we go? Come on then. Come on then. Do you have a walk? Should we? Should we? Yeah? Yeah? You're gonna hurt yourself. We're clearly gonna, oh, here's a pug. Pug? We're going for a walk? You? So we're gonna go for a walk and get our steps in for the day. My 1 walk a day, that keeps the fat ass away apparently. Come on in. Ooh. This is mine and Mads's date opportunity. We definitely don't have date nights anymore. So this is our one opportunity to reconnect, have a little bit of time to ourselves without phones, without clients, without work, without Cal, without Stephen. But this is the opportunity that we take just to get some fresh air. Obviously it's my main walk a day, but it's really nice to just have like a little bit of space, a little bit of fresh air with my wife before getting back to the reality of prep, which most of the time, no matter how much food you're eating, is hungry, tired, and just wanting to sit the fuck down. So it's very nice. From one thing and task to the next, in every rest day we have Mr. Nathan Smoothie, our muscle tech, outdoor, ready to rock and roll. Good. Right? Yeah. How you feeling? Yeah, great. You feel fucking full.
That's what I just said. I said, you look massive.
In here?
He said, yeah, off season now.
Off season.
In a week.
Find your grill, baby.
You going first.
Right, cheers.
Fuck the condition.
Muscle tech. Why do we do it? When do we do it?
We do it to maintain range of motion in performing exercises. We allow the athlete to hit poses. Mobility for posing is crucial, as well as range of motion when we are training. If you can't contract the muscle for a full range of motion, it's not going to grow. You're not going to get the stimulus.
And it's literally as simple as that. Hit me, baby. One more time.
I'ma get that check like I never did before. Then I'ma spend that check like I never did before.
Been treating Corey for about 4 months now. we've had some lower back issues, some knee issues when I first started. But I think the beneficial thing for constant like sports therapy is when he weighs in. Now we're used to his like post massage weigh-in the next day. We can take that as a variable out of his check-ins. He gains half a kilo to a kilo usually post massage, and now that's a regular thing. We can factor that in his check-ins, and it's not a stressful worry. It's just part of the process. Even though he wakes up drier, fuller, but just because the weight goes up, it's not correlated to body fat or conditioning. Hands on your hip like a teapot, chest up, push your elbow, elbow, not good. Hands behind your head, there you go, lock in, and out. Done.
And we're done. Guys, thank you very much for watching The Day in the Life. Episode 4 of the No Surrender series. We will see you next week. As always, trying to bring you the best content, the best insight as to the intricate details of me and what a prep looks like on the lead up to winning a Classic Pro card. If you've got any questions, if there's anything you guys want to know, even the people that you've seen today, Sammy, Nathan, anything, then drop a comment below. Hit the socials, it will be in the description box below. But as always, keep following, keep supporting. I am so grateful for every single one of you who do. We'll see you next time. Mads, do you want to throw your little head in? Peace!
See you on the other side.